got it, right? Because how can you expect to do a by-election every time when the majority party loses? We never got it in the first place. But what am I going to do for you for today, right? I'm going to give out two issues coming out from today's debate, right? Firstly, on the fairness, right? Which side gives a better fair system, right? But secondly, on how the politicians' right to choose. Now, before moving on, right, let me just clarify to you what is our stance on the government, right? Our mechanism was to ban party hopping as a whole after you have been elected, right, Mr. Speaker. We're fine with you party hopping before the election, but after the election, you have an obligation towards a certain party, right? So basically, the reason why we've already told you the reasons why party hopping as a whole is bad, right? But secondly, right, we want to tell you on how we want to question the opposition side. How will you ensure that what is the true intention of these politicians? Because they've told you that they will allow party hopping if the previous party has bribery or things like that, right? But you're never really ensured what is the true intention of that politician itself, right? Because you never know the reason why he wants to party hop. So even if we think that even if it's because of bribery or corruption, we do not want party hopping as a whole. So let's move on to the first issue of fairness, right? They've told us on how it's rather fair because now you let these politicians choose which party suits them in the first place. But firstly, we think that the whole idea of democracy falls on our side and fairness falls on our side. Why, right? Because now, if a certain politician has already been elected, he should stick to his own party and he should be obliged to his party itself, right? Because throughout the whole election, you've already been under that Barisan Nasional or PKR banner, right, Mr. Speaker. So we believe that your responsibility is for a certain party and not for other parties, right? Because before the election itself, you've already chosen to run under that certain political party and not for other political parties, right? You've already promised the citizens under your political party and also representing yourself, but not under other politician parties, right? So if I move on, anyone of you?
The thing is, sometimes it's not always about promises they make. Promises can be the same, but the problem is, since sometimes both parties promise to do the same thing, but some parties are not willing to cooperate. They don't seem to think, and therefore people change parties. It's exactly what Zaid Ibrahim did. He tried to change, he changed over simply to try and implement something which is right from the start. What do you say to that?
Thank you. But even if it's right from the start, right, that's why you have to have discussions in the first stage, right, to ensure that what the politician is doing is right or wrong for the certain political party itself. If it's for the best interest for the nation, if it's for the best interest of the political party, then it's fine, right? But we do not like the idea of when your party does not stand for what you believe, therefore you have to switch parties. We don't believe in that sense, right? Because we believe that when you do so, right, you're not being so selfish because you only care about yourself, but you don't care about the political party you stand for. I'm sorry, sit down. Now, sit down. Okay, now let's see. Now they've come up. Now we believe that fairness won't even exist when you have these by-elections, right? When they propose, when you have this mechanism of by-elections. Why, right? There are more harms. Because firstly, Mira has already told you on how it's unfair to these poorer politician parties, on how now these rich politicians can now create more propagandas, have the media, and create more campaigns, right, for these by-elections to happen again and again, right? But next, we also think that it's also going to be unfair for other districts, right? Because now because these party hopping does not come only in big levels, right? But it also happens in the districts, right, Mr. Speaker? So if you want to have a by-election in a certain district, therefore you're not going to be fair for other districts who also want to have a by-election to also replace whatever party they're standing right for, right, Mr. Speaker? So we believe that fairness won't exist when we actually impose this by-election, right? Because you're now going to have it for one certain district and others won't. But even if you want to do a by-election for the whole country, we think that's going to be problematic, right, Mr. Speaker? Because party hopping happens frequently, right, Mr. Speaker? They've told you on how it only happens once or twice, 3 or 4 times, right? But we don't think so, because that is only on the higher level, right? Maybe in between ministers. But we think that in the districts itself, there are many cases when politicians hop from party to party, right? That's why. You want to come on, be quick.
Now, ma'am, please give me a statistic about how many people have party hopped in the last year. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I told you, right, that it's frequent that it happens, but it doesn't really happen in the bigger level, right? But it happens among districts. I told you, open your ears, man. Okay, now let's on how it's the rights of the politicians, right, to choose. What do we mean by the rights of politicians, right? We think that the whole concept of running a political position is about representing your political party, right, and not representing yourself. Because you've already chosen, as I've already told you, right, you've already chosen to represent your political party, therefore you run for that political party as a whole. Now we believe that these politicians have the obligation to represent what their people want, right? This is what we need, what we need, right? We need that these politicians need to represent what is the best interest of their people, right? And best interest of their political party. We believe that these politicians should not be selfish to only know what to have the right to choose of which party they want to represent, right? Because now if you're going to give the politicians, I'm sorry, sit down. But now if you're going to give the rights of the politicians to choose whichever party they want to, just for themselves, right? Now we think that you don't have to run for the political party, run individually, right? Because the reason why you have politicians in a certain political party is to represent your political party and not yourself. So what has side government told you? We've told you on how when you ban party hopping, it diminishes when you have party hopping, it diminishes the quality of the Malaysian voting system, on how we fight for democracy, right, Madam Chair. But we've also told you on how that we've also told you on how there'll be inconsistent stances, on how these politicians will keep changing their stances if they keep party hopping, right? They promise under PN they promise something else, under PKR they promise something else. So there'll be inconsistent stances. But I've also told you on how it indicate the culture of politicking, right? We've told you on how now that when we ban party hopping, we will reduce the amount of fights happening between politicians about the political party itself, and now we're discussing more about issues happening in Malaysia and not among the political parties, right? So if you care for our political system, if you believe in democracy, go with the